All right, everybody, I'm with Randy here. Randy's in the hot seat. I'll be in the hot seat next, but he's going to take me for a drive and show me everything about this thing. So what are some of the cool things you want to...
So rear-wheel driving. So actually, we'll start with rear-wheel driving. So this is where you would be able to change your modes. So you've got my mode, you've got off-road mode, you've got terrain mode, trailering mode, and then you've got normal mode. Now, one of the features, since this is a mode that's not in here, this is kind of essentially a secret mode.
Oh, okay.
This is called Watts to Freedom.
Okay.
And AKA WTF. And
Oh.
GM totally put a spin on it. So
All
this is
right,
your traction
I like it.
control, and when I hit this,
Yeah. It's kind of like a launch. Right?
this puts you in launch mode.
Launch mode.
And this is where you will do 0 to 60. So right now what it's doing is it's lowering down to its optimal position to be in Watts to Freedom mode. You cannot be in extraction mode, which is 6 inches
Wow.
lifted.
Hey, look, you got a runway.
Yep.
Check that out. This is called launch mode, and really, launch. You want
Watts to
that?
Freedom.
Wow, that is so cool.
So that's one of the modes. To get it out, you just hit your traction control. Another mode that's kind of a hidden feature is if you hold this is the rear steering.
Okay.
You hold this button back up
Oh,
here.
yeah, it has rear steering on this one.
This goes to
That's
crab
right.
walk.
That's right. Check this out, guys.
Now crab walk. This is a HD surround. So you
Okay.
can see everything around. This is looking at our rear tires. So what I'm going to do is jump over here. Those are our rear tires turning.
Wow, they're turning. I've never had a rig where you had the rear tires move with you.
And
Wow.
essentially in four-wheel drive situations,
Yeah.
as we go down the road, it's you drive sideways.
Unbelievable.
It will turn. It'll stop at 10 degrees. So at 10 degrees, rear wheels will stop, and then the front wheels continue to turn.
Continue to turn. Okay, so it only allows so much.
But right
clearance,
now,
but
we
right
are
now.
driving sideways.
Wow.
They can't really see it.
Oh yeah, we are driving sideways. No, I can feel it.
And I turn.
Wow, because the rear tire, there we go, it's turning. Check that out. And you would use this mode if you're going over rocks and
four-wheel
stuff?
drive situation,
Yeah.
tight spots, getting out of parallel parking.
Okay.
That would be
Parallel
another-
parking, because this is a good size rig. So
Um,
check that out. You got that mirror. That is awesome.
and you can also get rid of it and just turn it into a regular mirror.
Oh wow! But I like that you can always have view of what's going on behind you, because there is a window, but it's kind of blocked a little bit. But you got full on right there in your rear view mirror. Wow, Randy, that is so cool. So we're gonna take this thing out. You're gonna drive it, right?
Yeah.
All
Let's
right.
get, you don't really want to drive in crab walk mode, but I
No.
do drive in auto four-wheel steering.
Okay.
So essentially, let's.
All right, we're gonna get on the freeway right now. Randy's driving it right now and showed me some cool features of the Hummer EV, and that's what we're in today. So here we go on I-5. He's going to do the Super Cruise engagement, which basically will drive you all the way to Portland without you doing a thing.
So once we get behind here,
Okay.
so I'm gonna engage cruise control. So right
Okay.
now I just set cruise control. Now there's a Super Cruise button. It's right here, and once I center myself in the lane,
Okay. Center yourself in the lane. Super Cruise.
okay. Hold on 1 second. You might want to turn that off here.
Okay.
It's not working.
Okay, now we're in Super Cruise mode. So basically we're on I-5, and Randy, you can just let off the wheel
yeah,
and
what
stuff.
I'm doing
It'll
is I'm getting
drive.
this up to speed so we catch up to the semi truck.
Okay.
My hands are off the steering wheel.
Your
As
hands
the
are off.
commercial say, you can clap and
You
yeah.
can do all that, so have a conversation with me, and
So
and
say
is it gonna pass that rig?
It is doing lane change right now.
it's trying to do a lane change. Check this out. So it's going to try to pass that semi, right?
Yep.
All right, so when the coast is clear, there's a rear view mirror. It has changed a lane. We are now moved over. Randy's not doing anything. Alrighty. And then it knows the car's behind you and everything, so it'll pull over and stuff
Now
like that.
It should know that we've passed the semi-truck, and it should.
It should return to the right lane, so let's see if it does.
Unless it knows that these vehicles are
Oh,
coming.
and then there's cars coming, so how's it? So it's got cameras all the way around the vehicle, so which is amazing. So it's got sense of direction from all different views, and we're in Super Cruise right now. So basically, when you got cars behind you and stuff like that, it'll find a way.
So I'm
And
going to change lanes because there's cars catching up to us, and it's,
There we go.
all I do is put my blinker on.
You just put your blinker on, and it does everything else. So it kind of nudges like, hey, I want to get over, and then.
Now, say if you were to fall asleep, heaven forbid, at the wheel,
Yeah.
obviously, you're a little bit more relaxed when you're in Super Cruise. What will happen is it'll vibrate on the seat. It'll try to get your attention. If you are having a medical emergency, or if you did fall asleep, essentially what will happen is this vehicle will turn its emergency flashers on. It'll take about a mile, but it's going to come to a complete stop. And then OnStar is going to come into the vehicle through the speakers to check on you. If you're not answering, they're going to call emergency services to your location.
Wow. And GM has OnStar, right?
Yep.
So it'll
This comes with a 3 years premium OnStar. So you do have to have an OnStar subscription to be able to use Super Cruise.
Okay, gotcha. Super Cruise is one of those cool things. And that rear view mirror is so awesome. So we are basically on I-5, and this is available on I-5. It'll drive you all the way to Portland. You can just kick back. Wow. So the technology on the self-driving car thing is a reality. It really is awesome. And on a big rig like this, it's so quiet, you guys. It is amazing. Super quiet, relaxing. It is got heated seats and everything, and it is just comfortable as all get out, because this is the captain's chairs in here. So talk about comfortable. You can't beat it. Got it?
We're on.
We're on. All right, you guys, I'm in the Hummer right now, and we're going to go for a drive in this thing. And you got this whole control shifter right here, and Randy has showed me a little bit about it already, so we're going to go for a drive. So smooth. It's unreal. And it's such a big rig. I mean, I'm used to driving my Hummer, so, you know, it's louder. It's got the pipes. But as soon as I let off the gas, it just wants to regenerate itself. That's where that green comes in. See right there? And it's just like driving an electric golf cart. When you let off the throttle, it just slows down automatically. You do have a brake, though, still, for those rough, if you really need to stop really fast. But check this out. Just driving around. It's so smooth, and you got to get used to the pedal, like Randy said, because you're not used to it regenerating itself after you let off the throttle. But as soon as you let off the throttle, it wants to slow down. So it makes it really nice to get that nice balance of the driving experience. This thing is just phenomenal. Wow.
I love the the sky panels as you're driving.
Oh, isn't it nice?
And they do have UV protection.
Good. So those definitely tinted windows have the UV filter on it. Yep. So, do they get darker, or is that as dark as they? Okay,
that's
so
as dark as they get. So I mean, you could probably have them tinted.
Yeah.
They do make it's like a fabric cover. So if you did want to take them all off and just have a shade cover, you can like essentially like the Jeeps.
Wow.
Have that little fabric cover.
Got the little fabric cover for them. Just a nice fall day, just driving these back roads here, and as soon as you come around a corner, you just let off and it slows down for you. I have not used the brake once. So just to let you know, going around corners and stuff like that, it's just a breeze. And you would think that you're using the brakes, so you got to get used to that. But like Randy said, it's really easy to get used to, and it is. I mean, I feel like I've been driving this for a while now. I mean, it's really smooth.
And when you let off the gas,
yeah,
and it's regen braking, it is turning your brake lights on for the vehicles behind you.
Every time I let off the throttle, it throws on my brake lights. Correct. Like, hey, I'm slowing down, because I technically am slowing down.
Yeah, you're not using your brake, but it's going to let the people know behind you, hey, I'm braking.
Wow, that is pretty smooth. Have a good horn on it?
Oh,
okay, yeah, it's loud. I got one of those train horns on mine, so. Yeah, coming around the corner, and it's got a little bit of a sound to it. Randy was telling me through the speakers to give you that feel. So if you're, getting on the throttle, there's a little bit of a rumble feel through the speakers. It's imitated, of course, but it makes you feel like, oh, I'm driving something big. So you don't lose that sense. But it's quiet enough to where you have conversations in here, no problem, on your cell phone. I don't know what the decibels are, but it's really soundproof in here. Pretty good.
For having off-road tires.
Yeah, for having off-road tires. Here's the big thing. You get big tires, knobby tires, whatever. You get that road noise. You don't hear it in here at all. And I don't know, how big are the tires on this thing?
I do not know that off the top of my head.
It's all right. Look at that. I haven't even used the brake, guys. Never used the brake. So I'm going to make a right turn. Still haven't used the brake, so you'll never have to replace brake pads ever again.
It took me about 2 times driving it to get used to it, where it's...
Wow. That's just amazing. My wife goes through a lot of brake pads, so yeah, electric is definitely in her future, right? Just for the brake pads alone. Now, it is different. I mean, gas versus electric. You just have to understand how it all works. But it is technology that's just so amazing. It's just so smooth. And for a big rig like this is like one of the biggest rigs. I mean, it's just large and in charge and comfortable and wide and just has that presence like Hummer has. It's just like nothing else. I don't know. Is that the slogan still?
Say again?
For Hummer?
Which is?
Like nothing else.
Nothing else.
It's... I don't know if they came up with it since it's an EV series,
It's kind of driving the charge is what it is now.
All right, driving the charge.
Wow. The biggest thing people struggle with is range anxiety. Electric is new, and we're creatures of habit, so essentially that is one of the fears. And this does have built-in Google, so I could tell Google where I want to go, and it will map out my course, and it'll tell me where I need to charge, if there's chargers available at that moment. It'll also make it to where I want to be at a charging station that has shopping near it, or restaurants, because if you're going on a long trip, typically a person in Oregon, Southern Oregon, you don't do a lot of driving. So if you live 15 miles out of town, you're going to be able to do that trip about 22 times without even charging.
Okay.
And then when you get home, you're going to want to hook it up to your charger. And then you can actually have it charge. If you want to have it be ready at 7 in the morning, I want to be at 85% charged, and I want my vehicle to be completely conditioned, warm or cooled in the summer. You can have it charge in the middle of the night at non-peak hours to make it a little bit more cost effective than charging on peak hours.
Wow.
And then GM is going to be, in the beginning of next year, have an adapter that will work on the Tesla superchargers. So that is a 350 kilowatt charger versus a DC fast charge is right around 50 kilowatts. So it's a big time upgrade for charging.
Wow, that's going to be amazing. That's a game changer right there. And of course, the infrastructure's not all there yet, so it's coming on board. But like you said, don't worry about what you're doing, because the infrastructure is slowly becoming available. It tells you where you can charge on this map, right? Mm-hmm. It'll tell you where you can charge and how long it'll take and all that good stuff. So this is definitely... Now, you had a white Hummer EV with the truck, the pickup truck bed in it, and you sold that last night?
That went last night, and that one, same setup as this. There's a couple minor differences on that one. It does have front and rear e-lockers, where this is just all-wheel drive.
Gotcha.
Both do have extraction mode. They are both edition ones, and the edition ones are exclusive. They're not making any more edition ones, so they are one of a kind. This color is one of a kind. They're not doing it. This is exclusive to the edition one.
Wow. So this is the Hummer EV.
So look at that. He's not braking, and it's regenerating. He's using the regen braking.
No brake.
All the way to the stop.
I'm just stopping totally right now with the brake on, just for safety purposes. But yeah, it came to a stop.
You go,
let off.
Hey Google, get directions to Disneyland, California. Maybe you didn't hear me. Hey Google, get directions to Disneyland in California. Oh, it's still in demo mode, so it's...
Oh, gotcha.
We got to register it ultimately.
That's all right.
Hey Google, get directions to Disneyland in Anaheim, California. Now what it's going to do is it's going to spit out my directions on the infotainment, and then that's where it's going to tell you where you're going to need to stop, and then you know, ultimately you're going to make that trip from Grants Pass to Disneyland. You're going to have to stop to go to the bathroom or
Yeah,
get
you're
some
gonna have
food.
to stop somewhere and get some food.
I can't find Disneyland in Anaheim, California.
Well, and it
What address did you want to navigate?
Wow.
so it wants a specific address for
Oh,
Disneyland.
gotcha. So not a problem. And remember, this is brand new, you guys. So you have to break it in. You have to read everything. You have to engage all the systems. I know when I get a new cell phone, you got to do all that stuff. So, you know, I'm driving in the middle of Grants Pass right now, and I'm staying right in the middle of the lane. No problem at all. I'm looking at my mirrors. I can see perfectly.
Look how wide the
I-
rear view
I-
mirror covers.
I love the rear view mirror. I know where everybody is at all given time. No matter if the windows look small on this rig or whatever, because they are, you got 3 windshield wipers in the front. So they did lower the windshield on the front. And but you can see amazing. I can see everything. And the car's on the right, car's on the left, a rear view mirror. It has all those safety features that a lot of people complained about. I mean, I'm looking at that Magnum right there, and I remember you can hardly see out of those things. There has a lot of blind spots, and like in this Hummer EV, the blind spots are eliminated, virtually eliminated.
One of the cool features on the EV, especially the Hummer you buy today will be a different Hummer in 3 years because it has the ability to upgrade and download certain software, hardware to change what features it has. So when they first came out, they did not have extraction mode, and extraction mode is where to lift 6 inches. And what it did is they were able to program it, and then you go out to your Hummer and it updates,
Unbelievable.
and you now have extraction mode.
Unbelievable. Can we just drive this to my house, Randy? It's
Yeah.
pretty nice. I really think it's a amazing vehicle. I mean, I feel like I've been driving this for a while. I mean, it's so easy to get used to. And all the gauges and stuff that you see in some of the other cars, simplistic. It's just got the screen, you got some main buttons here, but that's it. It is not hard to figure out how to drive this thing at all. And the cool thing is, it's comfortable driving. It really is, guys. So see Randy at Row Motors in Grants Pass. We're going to cut the video off right here so we don't bore you to death. But if you want to test drive or you want to ask us questions about it, Randy is the guy at Row Motors in Grants Pass. And Randy, I know these things are going. You sold the white one last night, so you're going to have to talk to me about making a decision here. So let's go back to Row Motors in Grants Pass. Randy, thank you for this. Appreciate
Thank you. Have a good one, everyone.